We are talking about Mostly Harmless. This is the fifth and last book by Douglas Adams in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy. Yeah, this is the one I remember with lots of sandwiches. It was published in 1992 when he was 40 years old. And since the fourth book, he had written the two Dirk Gently novels, and I think his skills as a writer had definitely improved. It starts really well. The flavour is more like the first book. It is very funny, like on every page there is funny prose. And just to recap on all the scores I gave the previous books, I gave the first book 5 stars. This is definitely my favourite. The second book I gave 4 stars. The third book I gave 4 stars. And the fourth book I only gave 3 stars. And this one, up front, I'll tell you, I gave this one 4 stars. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the plot. Basically, there's a bunch of stuff about parallel universes, and there are 3 separate storylines. There's Ford doing things at the Hitchhiker's Guide offices. There's an alternate Trillian, or rather Trisha, who is on an Earth that hasn't been blown up. Yes, Trillian is back after being basically completely ignored in the fourth book. And then there's Arthur living his best life on some other planet as a sandwich maker. There's much better pacing in this book than some of the other ones in how it jumps back and forth between the 3 main characters, Arthur, Ford, and Trillian. And it's extremely inventive. There's just some totally wacky stuff in this book, and it's all humorous. There are much more consistently funny lines in this book than the previous one. But the ending, wow, it makes sense in terms of the plotting of the book. It's not just some random thing that happens, but it's in no way a fun ending. Still, disregarding that, for me, this was definitely a return to form for Douglas Adams. Taking the time to write the 2 Dirk Gently novels, he obviously improved in his craft, and that shows in this last Hitchhiker's novel. And sadly, this was Douglas Adams' last novel. He went on to make a computer game called Starship Titanic, which I have actually played, and then he was working on a 3rd Dirk Gently novel, The Cement of Doubt, which he didn't finish. These are the rough drafts, and unfortunately he died in 2001 when he was 49. I've recently reread the 2 Dirk Gently novels, so I'll have forthcoming videos on them, and then I'm going to read The Cement of Doubt. Then I'm going to try the 6th Hitchhiker's novel by Owen Colfer. This gets mixed reviews, so I'm curious to see what it's like. And then I'm going to be reading the original radio scripts. And I think that will conclude my Douglas Adams deep dive. So make sure to subscribe if you're interested in my reviews of those books. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this last of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy novels by Douglas Adams, and I'll chat to you there. Thanks for watching.